Hello there. I'm going to speak to you about a subject with two words that often don't travel together, and it's humility and leadership. There is a perception of leadership as something that is hard and strong and has the power to do things and move mountains, which is true, but it's never at the expense of people. And unfortunately, what we see today in the world is leadership that is at the expense of people. So if we remove that part at the expense of people and look at leadership and ask ourselves, what is the quality that the leader needs in order to be a good leader? What are the qualities? Well, I tell you what's my number one, and it always has been. It is humility. We know it as humbleness. But let's say it, humbleness, humility, humanity. Oh, does that mean weak? No, it means powerful. But what does humility and humanity and humbleness add to the picture of a leader? Well, I'm going to give another term. It's called leading by example. And why would I say that in connection to humility? Well, because if a leader leads by example, they have gone through the trenches themselves. They know what it is to fight and not to make it, and to fight again and get up and try and do things and live with the fears that they will never make it, and live with their disappointments. They know what it's like to be in the trenches. They know what it's like to be a person and to deal with sadness and with the inability to believe in yourself and self-doubts and you name it. They know what it is. And they naturally develop a sympathy to people who come after them because they know what it took for them to be there. They don't just come and bash people, but they give them a lot of advice and a lot of example of how they would be in this job, having done so, and tell them the story of how stupid they felt when they were in their position and how inadequate they felt when they were in their position. And when the other person that you are their leader hears that, it gives them space to grow. Literally so. Because they feel, oh, they're just a human being and they are my leader and I adore them and they know so much and they can speak so well and they can do so many things. And that is the one spare of growth you can give to people as a leader. That the title leader doesn't suggest it as we know it in the world today. Because we think of leadership with so many bad examples in the world today. It's ridiculous what goes out there in the name of leadership that passes for leadership. And it very often, the marker of bad leader is one that bashes people. And a leader with humility does not bash people. They first give them lots of help and lots of love and lots of attention. They might bash them at some point, but not after the other people know exactly what they're dealing with. They're dealing with the human being. So the first premise of leadership is be a human being that understands other people and has compassion and has been there before and therefore develops humility. And humility, my friends, as a wise man once told me, is the art of being at small. Let me say those words again. It's the art of being at small. You don't have to inflate yourself. You don't have to make yourself big. What's the point of having a big ego as a leader? To smart people, big ego only suggests that the person is feeling very low, with very low self-esteem about themselves. Otherwise, why do you need ego? You don't need it. Humility suggests that the person is open to the whole world because they can fit anywhere. In themselves, they don't think too much of who they are. They're just happy to be there. And they see leadership to be a function, not some kind of a title that they glorify with. It's a function. And when they see that, and they love people, and they have some empathy for their hardships, and they, over the years, develop that humility in themselves, they'll come across different. Oh yeah, they might be strong and powerful and say words and sometimes insult people, but they'll still have humility. And that's what's important. And this is a central part of leadership. Thank you.